Hey Star Warriors, StarGeek here. Today, I'm gonna count down the top 10 best original characters from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I think it's about time that I make a video on the best Star Wars film to come out in the past 33 years. Keep in mind that for this list, I'm excluding already established characters in the Star Wars universe from before the film was released, which means that fan favorites like Grand Moff Tarkin, Princess Leia, Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Darth Vader are not included here. Without further ado, I'll try not to choke on my aspirations of having everyone enjoy this video and just jump right into it. Oh, and massive spoilers ahead. In 10th place, we have Admiral Raddus.
Is there anybody out there? This is Rook One, coming over!
This is Admiral Raddus, Rogue One. We hear you!
This is a character that came as a huge surprise to me. We didn't really know anything about this Mon Calamari Admiral before the movie was released, but he stole every scene that he was in. Commanding his fleet from the cruiser Profundity, Raddus was a high-ranking Alliance leader. He wasn't in the spotlight for very long, but his ingenuity and quick thinking allowed the Death Star plans to be transported to the Rebellion, which also gave us one of the coolest visuals in the movie. Raddus might not have had the most important role, but he certainly added to the overall effect of the war zone. He's definitely Rogue One's version of Admiral Akbar, but with a much different look than we've ever seen before. He also has the claim of being the only character not to die on this list, at least not on screen.
Rogue One, may the Force be with you.
At spot number 9 is Saw Gerrera.
Did you come here to kill me? There's not much of me left.
I'm sad to say that this is actually a character that I was disappointed with. With award-winning actor Forrest Whitaker reprising a character that was first introduced in the Clone Wars, I had some high hopes. He was the character that I felt had the most mystery around him. But when he showed up in the movie, it wasn't quite what I had hoped. Even with the pretty cool voice and set of armor, his scenes were by far the dullest part of Rogue One. All of his scenes seemed to drag on far too long, and the very out-of-place, ugly, and un-Star Wars-y Borgullet that he was attached to didn't help his case. I will say that his character is one of the first in the Star Wars universe that I felt I actually had a hard time deciding whether he was good or bad. With his radical ways, torturing, and Vader-like breathing apparatus, what he lacks in character development, he makes up for in mystique.
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
In 8th place, we have Galen Erso.
Remember, whatever I do it to protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
Galen Erso is at the center of this story, being taken away from his family and forced to work on the Empire's most devastating weapon. There's a lot of intrigue to his character. As we see him show up in flashbacks and holograms, we start to understand his character more and more. He's a great fatherly figure, and his connection to his daughter is something that we've never had in the series before. The rest of the movies have the heroes very confused about their pasts, not really knowing their origins. It's different with this relationship. His dedication and compassion for his fellow designers seems to mirror that compassion and care he showed for Jyn. He's a much more complicated character than it may seem at first. One of my favorite parts of his character is the nickname Stardust that he gives to his daughter. It shows up multiple times throughout the film, and eventually is used as the codename for the Death Star plans. It's a fantastic connection.
I have so much to tell you.
At 7th, we have Baze Malbus.
Along? Good luck!
I don't need luck. I have you!
Baze is a character that is mostly defined by his giant gun. Along with Chirrut Îmwe, he shares the background story of being a former Guardian of the Whills, a connection to George Lucas's first concept for the saga. Once a devout follower to the Force, his faith wore down over the years, especially after the Empire took over. This character trait ties in perfectly to his redemption scene at the end of the movie. It's by far the most emotional part of the film, with Baze honoring his fallen friend by accepting his beliefs and fighting off the last remaining troops. Everything about his character says cool. He might not say much, but his dedication to protecting his friend and his ruthless attitude earned Baze Malbus 7th place.
You almost shot me.
You're welcome.
Entering at spot number 6 is Bodhi Rook.
Rogue? Rogue One.
Rogue One? There is no Rogue One.
I think Bodhi is an underrated character. He might not be in the spotlight quite as much as some of the others in this movie, but he plays a vital role. Being sent by Galen Erso to deliver the Death Star plans to the rebellion, Bodhi risks everything he has. He grew up in the Empire as a cargo pilot, always doing what he's told. But for once, he actually did what he felt was right. He stood for a cause that he believed in, which is quite a theme in this film. He goes through a lot more than it may seem. He leaves behind the only life he ever knew, gets tortured by the people who are supposed to help him, and watches his home city get destroyed. He finally gets the redemption he was always looking for, playing a vital role in getting the Death Star plans to the Rebel fleet. This Imperial defector doesn't get the recognition he deserves. Making it to the halfway mark at spot number 5 is Cassian Andor.
We'll give her your name and hope that gets us a meeting with Saul.
Hope?
Yeah. Rebellions are built on hope.
Cassian Andor is definitely one of the main leads in this film. He's a ruthless rebel spy fighting for a cause that he believes in. His backstory is somewhat shrouded, but we eventually get a hint that his family was greatly impacted when he was at a young age. Battling with the Empire for nearly his entire life, his struggle is highlighted throughout the movie. He does some horrible things in the name of the Alliance, always following his orders, but that all changes when he decides to aid on a mission that was rejected by the Council, rebelling against the rebellion. He changes over the course of the film, with his defining moment being when he spares Galen Erso's life. Up until the last moment, Cassian does everything he can in the name of peace and freedom to the galaxy, earning him 5th place.
Make 10 men feel like 100.
At spot number 4 is Jyn Erso.
What chance do we have? The question is, what choice?
It seems a bit odd to have the main character so far away from 1st place, but I have my reasons. While her backstory is the driving force behind this movie, she just doesn't shine quite as much as some of her counterparts. That being said, Jyn's struggle with all of her guardian figures abandoning her at a young age clearly shaped her character in a unique way that we haven't seen before in the saga. Her dedication to the cause against the Empire develops throughout the movie, starting as disinterest and eventually becoming her life goal, honoring her fallen father. She does everything in her power to deliver those plans to the fleet, risking her life many times, but eventually coming out victorious. She's a good lead, but it would have been nice to give her a little more time to develop.
Your father would have been proud of you, Jyn.
In 3rd place, we have director Orson Krennic.
So we were this close to providing peace and security for the galaxy.
You're confusing peace with terror.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
I don't know about any of you, but I think Krennic is a fantastic villain. He's an extremely unique figure unlike anything that we've seen before in the Empire. He seems totally ruthless, with sharp, witty lines centering around death and destruction, even that of his former friends. He's very adamant about getting the credit he deserves, and is willing to confront some of the leaders of the Empire quite intensely about it. He always makes sure to get himself heard, and doesn't deal well with betrayal. Right when his life is starting to look up, with his superweapon performing superbly, everything is taken away from him. His credit, his friends, his control, and eventually his life. He's really a tragic figure. Nonetheless, he knows how to get stuff done, and with a cape like that, how can't you be intimidated? Krennic is one of the best villains that the saga has to offer.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours!
In 2nd place, we have K2 Erso.
Congratulations, you are being rescued. Please do not resist.
I might be a bit biased here considering I'm a huge droid fan, but I still think K2 Erso deserves this spot. Every film needs some form of comic relief, and K2 Erso provides that exquisitely without ever getting annoying or feeling out of place. As much as I love C-3PO, his constant complaining could sometimes get in the way of a scene, which never happens with K2 Erso. He's almost the anti-3PO, but he's not just comic relief. He serves vital roles in the movie, and without him on the team, there's no way the mission would have been successful. Plus, his design and backstory are fantastic. Being a reprogrammed Imperial droid with wit and charm serves his character perfectly, and his tall, dark stature adds so much to his persona. You know you're doing something right when the death scene of a robot is even more emotional than most of the human characters. K is simply a joy to watch on screen.
Taking them to imprison them in prison.
He is taking us to...
Quiet!
And there's a fresh one if you mouth off again.
We'll take them from here.
Before I give you my favorite character from Rogue One, here are some runners-up. Edrio Two Tubes,
Fosuta, Tvida, Kruga.
General Merrick, Vanay,
My lord, Director Krennic has arrived.
Lyra Erso,
You will never win.
Do it.
General Draven. I have to make a note that this is a surprisingly good character, showing that the rebels aren't always the heroes. Some of them have to be very ruthless and cruel. He's almost even like a minor villain for our heroes.
Tell him my orders still stand. Tell him to proceed with haste and keep to the plan. We have no idea what he's building for the Empire. We have to kill Galen Erso while we have the chance.
Finally, in first place as the greatest character in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is Chirrut Imwe.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force. And I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it.
How can't you love this character? A blind, monk-like guardian of the wills who is attuned to the Force and all that surrounds it. Donnie Yen's incredible martial arts skills give this character so much style. He has some of the best lines in the movie, both comedic and very serious. His devotion to the Force guides him in his path and makes him stand out in the film. He's not a Jedi completely, but is clearly very Force sensitive, showcasing the concept of how the Force can affect individuals differently. And the fact that he's blind makes his character so much better, adding even more to the power and mystery behind the Force. His final scene where he slowly guides himself through blaster fire and reaches the lever that allows the connection to the Alliance to be made is one of the best in the movie. His death scene is definitely the most emotional, as he passes on his legacy and mantra to his friend and protector. There's so much to this character, earning Chirrut Imwe first place.
Look for the Force. True. You will always find me.
So that's my list on the top 10 best characters from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Subscribe to StarGeek for weekly Star Wars content. If you enjoyed the video, or agree with the list, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by clicking the links in the description. And you can check out my last video, my thoughts on Han Solo possibly having a different name, if you just click on the thumbnail. You can also watch my list of the top 10 best scenes from Attack of the Clones. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been StarGeek.
This is funny.